Hi, my name is Cara Lee, and I'm really excited to be your instructor for statistics. You can call me Cara or Ms. Lee, whichever you prefer. And I'm going to show you, give you a little overview of our class, how to get in and how to navigate around. And then, of course, I'll get to meet you on the first day. So if you haven't gotten into D2L before, there's a computer icon in the upper right-hand corner, or there's a link under PCC Sites D2L Brightspace Login. So I'm going to click on that one. And you might be seeing this in a different term with different images, and that's okay. If so, everything will be the same. And I'm going to click on our class. Okay, and so this is for an in-person class, and this is our course homepage. So I'm going to go over the links across the top. This is our welcome announcement. This is where this video is going to be. I'm re-recording this video, and then there's also a My Open Math walkthrough video. So that will help you get into our online homework system. That's free. And over on the right is a little widget that has my picture, it has my contact information, how to get a hold of me, and it has my current student hours. So I usually have help time right after our in-person class, and then you can also schedule a time with me on Zoom. You can click on this link and see my calendar right there, and you can just go ahead and book a time right there. Okay, you can also email me if none of those times work for you. We also have tutoring options right here. Okay, so you're going to get started in this welcome announcement, which you're probably doing right now if you're watching this video. Now I'm going to go across these links in our navigation bar up at the top. So this home will take you back to this page right here. The house at the top takes you out to all of your D2L courses. So the D2L homepage that has all of your courses there. This is our course homepage, that's home. Then content is where we'll spend a lot of our time. This is where all the content is for the whole class. It actually starts with an overview page here, and I've got a quote from a famous statistician here, Dr. David Blackwell. I'll let you take some more time to read that. This is like a big checklist, and we're going to go through this, as you'll see, some intro stuff, and then week 1, week 2, week 3. So it's like a checklist on the left. And then over on, once you click on one of these, there's a checklist inside. But I'm going to wait for someone to go through this whole thing. Desmos Labs, so we will do this in class. So you don't need to join this yet because I want to help you do that during class. So we'll come back to that. My Open Math is our free online homework system, and you may have used it before or maybe not, but the next video is going to show you how to make an account for that, and we'll help with that in class as well. Assignments is a shortcut for where to upload work from either your student info assignment or your weekly quizzes. So that's just a place to upload work. Discussions is a place to get help. You can post for any questions about any week there. Zoom, you may not need too much since it's an in-person class, but you could possibly get to our Zoom meeting if you schedule an individual meeting with me here. This is our free online textbook. So this is a really great resource. I suggest, even if you like paper, reading books on paper, I suggest trying it online first because you may not need to use the textbook a whole lot. A lot of students find that that the notes and videos are sufficient. But if you really like reading material and you feel like you want the extra material, you can also get a low-cost copy of this book at our bookstore. Grades is where you can check your current grades. And more, you can see your class progress, you can see the students in our class, and there's several help options as well. You can get the student help desk, which can help you with technology items. You can also get to tutoring here, accessibility. If you have corrections or feedback, send that to me first. If I can't help you, then we can go to the help desk after that. Okay, so those are the most common things we'll be using in our class. And like I said, content is going to be used the most. So I'm going to spend more time on that one. Also, one more thing before I forget is you can set up notifications. And if you click on next to your picture or whatever icon is here, there's a setting for notifications right here. And this is super helpful. There is a Pulse app, so you can get this app on your phone. You can also get notifications from D2L if you don't want to use your phone for that. You can get an email. Let's see. I guess it doesn't let you choose SMS, but you can get an email. If you want SMS, maybe try the app. So you can get notified. You don't have to pick all of these, but for example, if an assignment due date is coming up, if an announcement is posted, if a content item is updated, so I might update something and then I can set a thing to let you know that it's been updated. Also, if a grade item is released or updated. So those are really, really helpful. So I would check on those particular things. Actually, our assignments are more in My Open Math, so you probably won't get anything for this class, but you might want to check this for all of your classes. You can also you can allow future courses to send notifications. It's just right below my video, but you can check to allow future courses. So if you set it up now, you can set it and forget it. It'll be there. You can also include your grade value in notifications from grades if you want to do that. Okay, you can also, down below, you can exclude some courses if you want. Okay, great. So check that out under notifications. Now I'm going to go back to content. Okay, so under this table of contents is what we're going to work through in the entire term. Now the first thing is called student resources, and this is a general module that's in just about every class, okay? Mostly online, but it might also be in your in-person and any hybrid classes as well. More information about Brightspace, where to find help, technology, tools, accessibility, and something we'll use is scanning multiple pages into a PDF file. So you might need that as well. But you may be really familiar with this already, if so you can ignore it or you can just come back to it if you need something. Then specific to our course is course information, okay? And we'll go through a little bit of this on the first day, but also it's always here for you, so I don't want to spend too much time on the first day. So I'm just going to go through these briefly, and you can read through it on your own. So here we have learning outcomes for the course, both the high level for the whole course and then module level, more detailed outcomes, okay, if you're curious what's going to be in our course. And then to get to the next thing, you can either use the arrow at the top or the bottom, or you can use these links to go back. So then I have an Indigenous land acknowledgement, and onto that, because I think it's really important to acknowledge that we're on tribal lands, and onto that, because we're in a statistics class, I've added a data sovereignty acknowledgement. So data have become this global currency. So I just want to acknowledge the right of each Native nation, and actually every community, to govern the collection, ownership, and application of their own data. So if you're interested in learning more about this, it's called Indigenous Data Sovereignty, and there are some more links down here, and also 7 ways to support Indigenous people that go beyond an acknowledgement. Okay, so go to the next item. This is some instructor information, so you're welcome to read a little bit more about me, a little bit about my background and history there. Now, sometimes I like to go back and see where I am in the list, so I'm going to go back, and the next item is the syllabus. And you'll notice some of these things are checked off automatically. It'll look a little different in the student version. These will just get checked off after you go to them, because you'll probably only go there one time. The other things that you need to do something with, or probably go there multiple times, you'll see a little checkbox, and so you get to check that off when you're finished. Okay, so it can be feel rewarding to check something off when you're done with it. So here's our syllabus, and there's quite a bit of information here. So there is a lot to read in here, but the first thing and most important thing is I believe that everyone belongs at PCC. So you belong at PCC. And I really, really enjoy working with our student population. And so I really value differences and appreciate working with students of all backgrounds. And I've got all the categories here, and there's more, I'm sure. So I'm really striving to deepen my anti-racist teaching practices, and I do have a social justice theme in this class, so you'll see that in some of the data sets. And I know those can be heavy topics, and so this quote really summarizes my philosophy. It's from a former student of mine, and they said, "The biggest thing I bring with me today is that who controls the numbers has a big say in what narrative is constructed with them. Knowledge and being able to share that knowledge is power, and I'm inspired by you to seek meaning in the numbers in ways I haven't before." So even though we will be looking at current data sets, things that are really important, could feel a little bit heavy as well because they're not things that are not ideal. I want to approach them from a place of empowerment, that by being able to work with the data and show that something is an issue, we can create change and use statistics as a force for change and a force for good. Okay, so that's right at the top of the syllabus because that's the most important thing to me. And I'm just going to hit a few highlights of this. I'm not going to go through every single thing because I don't want to make this video too long. But here's all of our course information and my information, how to contact me and my hours and all that. Please do reach out, even if it's between classes, even if you feel totally stuck. Usually we can get you unstuck pretty quickly. And here's our required resources. That's a lot to say. There's a course packet at the bookstore, and I'm going to show you that in this video. You can buy it there or you can print it yourself. There are also individual documents in each module if you prefer to print as you go, or if you want to write in or type in the Word docs, or if you have a tablet and you want to write on the PDFs. There's a lot of options for the taking notes in the class. Okay, and I mentioned the book. Here's the link as well. Again, I would try it online first and decide how much you're going to use it. There's a supplement that we'll have in one of the weeks. And most of the stuff we're going to use is free online. We're going to use a lot of free online technology, including multiple applets, Desmos Classroom, and a free online calculator, or you're welcome to have a scientific calculator if you have one. If you already have a graphing calculator, you're welcome to bring it and use it, but don't buy one because we won't be using those features, statistics features on it. We're going to use free online stuff. Speaking of free online stuff, our homework system is free online. And this is the information you need in the next video to get into My Open Math and create your account. Okay, so I'll save that for the next video, but make a note of this. Keep in mind this might be different. If you're seeing this in a future term, you might need to go to our own syllabus in that term and get this number right here. Okay, we've got course description. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about the format of our class so you can see if this is going to be the right fit for you. It is a partially flipped class. So there are videos for this class, and you'll be watching a couple, 2, 3, 4, a few videos before each class. Now, not the first one, but after that. And taking notes on your notes pages, however you are going to do that. And then that will just give us more time to practice in class. That's called a flipped class, where instead of doing all the lecture in class and you do the homework and lab and practice outside of class, I want to have time in class for our lab, and then you might have a little bit of homework time depending on your pacing. You might have a little bit of homework time in class as well. Okay? So I'll show you where all that stuff is located in just a moment. But also this helps with retention, because we're going to be doing things, some lecture, demonstration, but then discussing, practice by doing, and teaching others. That's how you really retain information. Okay, the other thing I want to share with you is our weekly pattern. And I'll show you this on the calendar as well. So before each class day, you're going to have certain videos to watch. I'll show you how to know what those are. And then during each class, you're going to bring your course packet so you can take some more notes. So we'll work on more notes together as a class, and then we'll work on lab activities, and you might have some homework time. Then I have optional help time after class, so you're welcome to stay and work after that or ask questions. Between our classes, you're going to work on the online homework and get any help as needed. And then same thing Thursday, Thursday or the second class day in case it's Monday, Wednesday. We'll do the same thing in our second class day. Then you'll work on that assignment, get any help as needed, and then the next week, all the things will be due. So my open math homework, our lab. Usually you just need to do the lab if you were absent, because I put the points down if you're in class working on it. And then we'll have a weekly quiz in my open math as well. Okay, here's more information on our technology, help desk, lots of accessibility, lots of links here. Artificial intelligence. Then there's a little bit more specific information about each type of assignment that we have, or activity even. Okay, so we'll talk more about these in class. Late work and makeup policy. So I do have a flexible policy to a point, as much as I can. It's meant to be a few days here and there, okay? And I think communication with your instructor is the most important thing. So please do reach out if you need extra time. You have automatic late passes that you can use in My Open Math, which is wonderful because you can give yourself your own extension. There'll be more about that in the My Open Math video. You can also use them on quizzes. If you're sick, please don't come to class, even if it's a test day. I'll work with you. Just let me know. And if it's a regular class day, you have all the videos, so you can use the videos, complete your lab and homework. If it's a test day, you can schedule a makeup here. Okay. And then we have all the points for all the items in the class. So use a standard kind of point system and grading scale. But really the most important thing is learning. So by doing all the things for your learning, you're going to get the points and do very well. And then PCC is a sanctuary college, and I'll be sending out a little more information about that, what that specifically means for our classroom. And if you have any concerns about that, please let me know, okay? About any concerns about ICE or anything like that, please let me know. And we have a non-discrimination statement. PCC, along with me, is very committed to creating a respectful and inclusive place for education. So if you find anything other than that, if it's in our class, please let me know. I would like to help with that. And if you prefer more anonymous, you can go to the Office of Equity and Inclusion. There's a phone number and an email there as well. Okay, same thing if you experience any harassment, microaggressions, anything like that. I'd like to help with that. And we have a lot of resources and guidelines, things with registration, payment, rights and responsibilities. Of course, academic integrity is really important. It's really important to do your own work and not let anyone else, everyone else has to do their own work as well. And if you have accommodations or if you're interested in working with the Office of Accessible Education, you're welcome to start the process. There's a link right here. And if you already have accommodations, please send them to me, and I'm happy to work with you on that. And okay, we got through the whole syllabus. That's a lot. I'm going to go to the next thing, and that's our class calendar. Okay, so this has the same weekly pattern at the top, and I will bring this. A lot of people like to check things off physically, so I will bring a copy of the calendar to class. And so just again, real quick, you're going to watch the videos before each class day, just certain ones, and I'll show you where to find that. And then in each class day, we're going to do some more notes pages together. Then we'll work on lab activities, and you might have some homework time. I do believe in keeping you busy for the full class time, because you're paying for that time with an instructor. So please do plan to arrive on time. I like to start on time, and also please plan to stay until the end of each class. And then there's extra time for help right after if you wish. Then you're going to work on the stuff, all the homework, in between classes, and then the next week is when everything is due. So you get to space it out throughout the week however you want, but do space it out somewhat, because it's a lot of content to do all at once. So you'll have My Open Math homework. The Desmos labs will mostly be in class. You might need to finish it up, or you would need to do that if you missed class or if you missed the lab time in class. And then we'll have a quiz each week, which is it's a at home or wherever you decide to take it quiz. We'll have two tests during class. Okay, so then here's our class calendar that goes by week. So these are things that you're doing right now before class or during week 1. Watching the course intro video, reading the course info syllabus and calendar, buy or print the course packet, and create your My Open Math account for the homework. Then this tells you the first column is generally the first day of the week we meet, and the second day of the week we meet, and then assignments that are due again by that next week. So we do like a full week, like Tuesday to Tuesday or Monday to Monday system. That way you have that next week, that class to answer any final questions you have. So the first column here, it kind of tells you what content we're working on. Same with the next day, and then these are the things that are due, which is pretty consistent from week to week. My Open Math homework, Desmos lab, and a quiz. A few extra things like there's a student info assignment in the first week, and then midterm week will look a little different. You can see different holidays or in-service days that we have. You can see when the midterm is, when the final is. Okay, great. And again, this might vary from term to term. So be sure to look at the one in our particular term. And let's go back and see where we are on the list. Okay. Great, that's everything except the next video, I keep saying that, the next video will show you your My Open Math account, how to get in, create that and get into that. So I'm going to go back over to the left. This is finally pages to print or buy for the whole term, okay? There's a bunch of info here if you want to get them printed for free. The Multnomah County Library is still doing free printing. You would have to send it in 2 batches because you can only do 100 pages a day, but all the notes together are 97 pages or 99 with the cover sheet. Then at the end, the chunk at the end are the test reviews. So you could wait and do that later if you wanted, or just do it in 2 separate days. I really recommend hole punching this and putting it in a 3-ring binder. So here you can see what it looks like, and I've also sent it to you in an email. It's the same file. So here you can see, and when I show you where the videos are, you'll see I'm writing on these exact pages in the videos, okay? And then, of course, the ones we do in class, I'll be writing with you. I'll be writing on paper that looks like this, and as we go through class. There's a lot of screenshots, a lot of data, a lot of information, so please do your best to get these pages. If you prefer, you can, they're also Word docs, so you can type your notes in Word, or if you have a tablet, there's individual PDFs that you can use as well. Okay, so it doesn't have to be on paper, but I definitely recommend having some way to access and take notes on these pages rather than, of course, you can use blank paper, you're just going to have to write a lot more. Okay, so in the first, like I said, the first 99, let me go back to the table of contents, the first 97 or 99 with the cover page are the notes, and then the test reviews. So we won't need the test reviews till about week 4 or 5 if you want to wait and print those later on. Okay, now let me go back and show you a couple more things and where to find the videos. Here we have class resources, links, and data sets. So here we have links to all the applets that we're going to use. They'll also be in each week. Our data sets we're going to use, free Microsoft Office, virtual tutoring, and there's links for tutoring everywhere. More how to take a screenshot, because we'll do that in class as well, because we'll be using a lot of screenshots since we're using a lot of technology. So there's just some resources that are helpful there. And then another type of resource are math study skills resources. So this is a whole playlist that was made by a PCC math instructor. So if you're feeling anxious about math or about testing or anything like that, feel free to take a look through here and see if there's anything that might be useful for you. Okay, and remember it's here because you might want to come back to it. I'll remind you around test time. But there's stuff on how to doing math homework, time management, lots of great things here. So feel free to check out anything that interests you there. And then I want to show you what a typical week looks like. Okay, so this is our week 1, which is our introduction, and this is a cat saying mew. That's a Greek letter mu that we'll be using. So I usually have some kind of fun image or cartoon here. And then in every week we'll have lecture and notes, what we're going to do in class, our online homework, a place to ask online questions between classes, and then the quiz, and then just in the first week, the student info assignment. Okay, so let me show you what these look like. Lecture and notes. Now, I do have videos in here for all of the notes pages. So you can watch them after if you want to see them again. You could watch them in advance if that's helpful for you to be seeing it in class the second time instead of the first time. So here is where, I need to change this to Tuesday, Thursday. Last time I taught this class, it was Monday, Wednesday. So for this particular term, it's Tuesday, Thursday. Here I'll put which videos to watch before our first class and which videos to watch before our second class. Okay, so it'll say before our first class, watch the intro videos, which you're doing right now, and then we'll do the notes pages for videos 1 through 3 in class together. So because it's the first day, we're going to do that together. We're going to start together. And then you'll have some videos to watch after that class. Before our second class, watch videos 4 through 6 and 11 through 12. 11 and 12 might be reviews. Those are optional to you. We'll do the pages for videos 7 through 10 in class. And here's some page numbers for if you've got the course packet. And then these are the individual notes files. Okay, so here's the Word doc if you use a screen reader to read it to you, or if you like to type. Here's the PDF if you want to print individually as you go, or if you want to use a tablet to write on with a stylus. And here's actually the completed notes pages for your reference. If you've watched all the videos and you want to go back and yeah, I just want to see what she wrote right there. You could go back here. And then we have the actual video. So here you can see the notes pages right here. And we use a lot of technology and things as we go. So you'll see any links. And it says, please do these yourself along with the videos to maximize your learning. So, and you'll see they're numbered 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do these together in our first class. Okay. Then, and maybe 4 if we get time. And then you'll be watching some yourself. And sometimes there's additional resources after that. And let me show you all the way down to this one has a couple optional at the end. I found throughout the years that rounding and percentages can feel challenging for people. And so I have some extra practice here. We use those a lot in our class. So if you're feeling totally confident with that, totally fine, that's great. But if you feel like you could use a little extra review or just instruction on that, sometimes people just have not been taught very well in their educational history. So please feel free to check those out, and I'd be happy to help with those as well. At the very bottom, we have different links to our textbook. So if you want more, to read more on anything, this will show you where to go for that. Okay. Okay, so that is our lecture and notes page. Then if I go to the next thing, it'll be our class page. Week 1 class. And again, I'm still updating for this term, so I need to switch the days on this one. But I'll have an agenda here, which will, I'll update that as we go as well. I'll put that on the board each day, which will show you what we're going to do. And then whatever links we need during class are up here, and then our lab. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know why I don't have the second day up there, but I'll put that there. And then we'll do our labs in class. Okay. So let me just double check week 1. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, then you'll go to online homework. That is again in the next video. Quiz is also in My Open Math, so I'll talk about those there too. And this is optional, so you won't have a checkbox there. But if you do want to pose a question or start a discussion topic between classes online, you're welcome to do that. Of course, we're going to have lots of time in class to talk. And here's your student info assignment. So this just helps me get to know you better, where you're coming from. I'm the only one that will see this, so it is okay to share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. It will be private. So if there's anything you want me to know, this is a good place for that as well. I really enjoy reading those. Okay, so that is a typical week. And then I'll say it again, I'll say it in class as well, but in the quizzes, you might be writing some work down on paper, and this is a way to upload it. So you can scan your work and upload it here. So assignments is a shortcut way. Same with the student info assignment. It's a shortcut way to get to uploading things. Okay, great. Well, I'm really excited to meet you on the first day. So let me go back to the home page. I think doing this orientation, if you can, then get your online homework system set up. Otherwise, we'll help you during class if you get stuck. And work on getting those pages, and then you'll be really well set up for our first class. So I will see you on our first day. I look forward to meeting you then. Okay, take care. Thanks for watching this video.